What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Danny-O. Let's go. And I have here with me Eddie, Cesar, and Ethan. Welcome to episode number 21. If you're returning, thank you for your continued support and helping our community and channel grow. If it's your first time here, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. It helps us out tremendously. On today's episode, we're going to be getting into some of the top deck lists that have been happening over the past couple of days. France tournament, the Munny pot that just happened the past weekend, and future tournaments that are coming up, and possible ban ideas that maybe Ravensburger should take into consideration. So, without further ado, let's get into it. This is the Lorcana Cookout.
Alright, boys. So, let's jump right into it. Oh, news. We had some news, right? Oh yeah, Japan is having their Lorcana news. Japan is having they announced their Grand Prix. It's gonna be a best of 1, 7 rounds. I think they haven't announced the Mickey, but they for sure showed the Rapunzel. And I don't know if they're getting like invites to something else or invites to World. That I don't know if it was on there. But the thing I do know that was on there is that you have to speak Japanese to play at these events. That's kind of crazy to me, but. Oh, you're muted, Daddy.
I guess they just don't want people like.
Yeah, they don't want people traveling, which is
rolling
crazy.
through. They don't want people rolling through with the sharks or whatever.
But then they should have done that for Melbourne.
But they should have.
They should.
Yeah,
You're trying to protect the mainland, dude.
Yeah,
You're trying to protect the
be
mainland.
region locked.
That's crazy. And what makes it even more crazy, it's a best of 1.
Yeah, that's
No way.
That's something.
That's even easier. But like, I guess they have a whole bunch of other games out there that are best of 1, right? Like what, One Piece.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about Dragon Ball Z and all that, but
I don't know.
still kind of crazy.
I'm pretty sure they play Flesh and Blood out there. It's also a best of 1, but their games are like literally 60-minute games. Same thing with One Piece. Like one game is like 60 minutes. One game of Lorcana could sometimes be like 10 minutes. So, like, it's crazy.
Yeah, best of one feels like kind of a little bit of a shaft to the new players and stuff. I feel like you're not giving them much of an opportunity to play, especially with 7 rounds too. If you're gonna do best of 1, just make it like double the rounds, make it 18 or like 15, whatever. I just feel like it just feels kind of shitty. Like you get beat in 10 minutes because, like you said, you could just sit down next to aggro and just lose in like 5 minutes. Your round's over. That feels
Yeah, it's kind
terrible.
of sad. I don't know
Is
how
it
long
like
the rounds
set
are,
one?
like 30 minutes, 35? Yeah, it's set. No, they're on set 2 right now. Maybe they'll be on set 3 by then.
Okay. Yeah, because back then the
When-
games were different, right? And you could get away with more, like a slower, like
Yeah,
board
that only
state.
really happened set 1, though. After set 1, like, all the games
Yeah.
became... Actually, even in set 1, some games were quick, because purple, blue, yellow, blue-green was, like, quick aggro deck, and then the purple-green was pretty quick, too.
Right? Yellow-green.
Yellow-green? No, it was blue-green. Blue-green was fast. Like, super fast.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
They're
That's
on the
right.
Cusco, right?
It was the Maleficents, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then they would put the
Yeah.
Cusco, and they would ramp to Cusco, and they would just, like... It was pretty quick.
Crazy
I
I
times.
still think it's RP Steel Song meta. Like those were the 2 decks
No, yeah,
that
100
you were playing.
100%, but I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
there are some games that
Maybe
were pretty
that's
quick, too. Yeah. But they're definitely not on set 1. They're either going to be on set 2 or set 3. So
What is the date of the tournament? Do we know?
that I do not know. I don't have that off the top
Okay,
of my
because
head.
like set three for Japanese comes out in probably the middle of May somewhere.
Yeah. But that's interesting. And then
we're buying pace. So.
also, I think in the Ravensburger Discord, someone announced, I forgot his name too, that they're like they just got hired or they're fully on board as like a communication specialist or something. So we should supposedly be getting more communication moving forward, but we'll see about that. Other than that news, I think there was more, but we're not gonna. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. We didn't record last week. We apologize for that. Life was coming up, and we just couldn't get all of us together, or at least some of us together, to record. So we do apologize about that. We'll try to be more consistent, but it kind of becomes hard sometimes. We're all adults.
The player hub is up.
Oh yeah,
It's under maintenance the past couple of days.
Yeah. But it is.
I was able to get in there. Name, people are crazy, man. They try to steal people's names, so I was able to get there before the maintenance went up like 100%.
Yeah, me too. I think I got mine too.
But something that people are pointing out and circling and putting the messages, there is a tab for sideboard, right?
Oh yeah.
So what do you guys think about possible sideboard? Since I don't know if that's just something they put in there or if it was mistakenly put in there.
Okay, so it depends how it's handled, right? Like, do you get to play your first game? One, is it gonna be best of three? Because then if it's 2 game format, then whoever goes first is screwed. And then so if it's best of three, do you get to play your first game with your main deck, and then after that you sideboard, or do you sit down and announce, hey, I'm playing purple red, you're playing green purple. Okay, cool. Let me swap out some stuff, and then you start playing.
I think if you're going to do a sideboard like that, if you're going to do 15, 10, 5 cards, whatever it may be, you definitely need to have it be best of 3. It's for sure it has to be best of 3, because that's because you go into the matchup blind. You should not be announcing what your colors are unless you like somehow know the player, or you know who, or you got information from like someone who played him. Because other than that, like, it should go into the matchup blind, and then turn games 2 and 3 are when you like sideboard, when you adjust your deck accordingly.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I don't
different.
Think it should be best of 2.
Yeah.
It should not be best of 2.
No, I agree. If there's a sideboard, it should.
You're just gonna get a bunch of splits.
Yeah.
The whole time, and that just sounds terrible too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It has to be best of three.
Terrible with splits, and having a sideboard, it just feels. They were so concerned about the time frames and games taking a long time. The reason why they're doing a best of 2, and now you're implementing a sideboard. How long are you gonna allow players to sideboard for in between matches for every match? So say they go to game 3, that means they were able to sideboard between 1 and 2, 2 and 3, right? So they have to allow a certain time frame to sideboard. So now the matches are gonna be longer, which is cool. Like, but it's gonna. These matches are going to be longer, and you have to allow the matches to be that long because you're allowing sideboards now.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it, because like let's say like pre-ban, right? Blue steel and blue red. We're like tier 1, right? So like, you play game 1, and then you're playing against blue red. Then you just swap out all your cards that are good against blue red, so then you don't get like giga railed. And then if you're playing blue steel, then you just swap out all the cards that are good against blue steel, right? That would have been a perfect example right there, because there are like 2 different opposite ways that you had to go to build to beat either one of the decks, so that would have been good. I wouldn't mind sideboard, but like you said, it would. I feel like in DLCs they already like take a lot of people go to time, and then like I don't know, I think people play way too slow, so it would have to increase the time and then encourage people to play faster.
Yeah, overall, I was just say overall, like I do. Like I've been like a fan of sideboarding in every card game I've played, like and I've always dreamed of it being possible in Lorcana, but I've always known that the card pool just wasn't there for that, and I like to see the conversation starting, but I still don't feel the card pool is there.
I think it is
to,
right, because you like.
I feel like this is the first
steals,
set where we see it. It's possible, but I don't. It's not like some decks just have more tech ability than other decks.
Yeah. Yeah, because specifically steel, right? Like they're playing, like you can have on your sideboard all the time cannons and grab your sword, and then as soon as you're playing blue, like just take them out, right? And those are good cards. It's just like they can't afford to have them, or at least before when blue red was so dominant, like they couldn't afford to have them because it was just such a like dead card in blue red. Not only are they dead, they're uninkable. So, but like against aggro, like you want to see them, like you want them. So.
Maybe they're just getting us prepared for it. Maybe it's not going to come out till basically set 10, but it's in with these new people that have the new positions in Ravensburger where they are ahead of communications. Maybe they'll eventually do their job and come out with this communication. Hey, we know this has been seen in our player hub that we just went live with. We know everyone's asking about this. This is something that's going to be coming to Lorcana in the near future, 2 sets from now, 3 sets from now. So hopefully they do their job. They communicate this information to us in a viable time where we are at least prepared for it, and we know, okay, cool, it's coming. We know to be prepared for this in the near future. Not like but possibly 2 sets from now.
I also wouldn't take it too serious because they're using the tournaments that used to be ran for Theo Beastie's tournaments. I think it was called like Play Network or something like that, Card Play Network. They're using that basically engine. Yeah, they're using that basically engine for their website now. So I mean, it might just be that they just copied and pasted like a version of that website or something, and it just kind of got stuck in there. So it might just be nothing at all too. So I wouldn't be too worried about it until they announced it, but I personally wouldn't mind it too much. I do think it'll make some color combinations way better. Like purple red, imagine that with the sideboard. Like, bro, That'd be crazy.
For me, it's
You
purple
could change
steel,
you
dude.
could change your whole deck completely. There's like 3 different versions of purple red right now.
Yeah.
Same thing with red blue, right? You can change your deck completely.
You can say that about every color combination right now. Like that's
No,
where the
not
meta
amber.
is.
Not amber.
Amber,
Not
what?
amber.
Amber steel?
I
Amber,
think
amber,
You-
not no. Amber color, the amber color actually sucks. The only reason it's good is because steel is good and purple.
yeah,
I'll sit
Amber-
there.
Amber's been getting
I'm
kind
gonna.
of.
I will die on that hill. Amber as a color sucks.
Bro,
They have
give
some
me-
good cards. They have some good cards. I'm not gonna say they don't have any good cards. Rapunzel's obviously a very good card, and Daisy's a very good card. Cinderella's a good card. All those cards are good, but all those cards I listed off right now all died a big Sisu without anything.
And they're
So,
also like from sets ago, so.
yeah, and with this is Daisy set 5, sure, okay, yeah, great card.
All right.
I love the card, but every other card that I mentioned are from set 2 and set 1. The rest of the cards are bad.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
the thing. There's still more cards. I think we still need a few more like sets before we can have a fair sideboard.
Yeah.
I just don't think sideboarding is the right move at this current time in the game. I don't think it is, just because you're gonna get decks like what Cesar said, red, purple, like just purple decks in general have the most flexibility because they have so much. And Cesar and I talked about this yesterday. Purple's whole color is draw. There's really nothing else in that deck that.
I mean, they have the move. They have the move damage.
They have
thing,
move
but it's
damage,
not
move
real.
damage, but that's not real. And then the other thing is like maybe burn spells, right? Like
Yeah.
the gain 2 lore, gain 1 lore, like off goat and stuff. Everything else in that color combo that's played specifically that you see in decks, all say card draw. That's it, or exert, and those are very few too. It's just Elsa. So you
That's a few
get
more.
decks that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying, but like the cards that people are mainly playing in purple decks are all either exert, which is just Elsa, or purple spells that say draw cards. That's it. So that's going to give you the most flexibility going into certain matchups with the sideboard. I don't think it's there yet.
Yeah.
I feel like a sideboard would open up more like obscure cards, right? That people
Yeah,
wouldn't
but
play. Like
you would see them like as like weird windows that would be very situational. That if you do play against that deck and you have that 1 or 2 of, like it just kind of break that game open, right?
like
I agree with
like that magical card, the 4-drop that just stops your opponent from stops you from discarding ever. You know, like that card all of a sudden it's like a pure tech card. That's like a beautiful sideboard card. Like no.
A guy was playing it at the money pot. We'll get into later. Yeah, he was playing that because figured there was going to be a lot of green still, but it was just an ink card at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. That's why that's like a sideboard card, but it's not like a
Yeah.
card.
But also you have to think of your inkwell. You have to think of your inkwell as a sideboard too. Like you're inking the bat. Like yes, there are cards that you can't ink, obviously, unless you're playing blue. There are cards that are in your deck that you're like, this card sucks in this matchup. This is going in the inkwell. So you think of it like that too. Your inkwell is also your sideboard mid game. You have to make those choices in game, and you decide, is this card getting inked? Is this gonna fuck me? Probably not. Like in the situation, right? Like, for example, if I'm playing versus blue red and I have a Daisy or a turn 1 Cinderella, I'm definitely inking the turn 1 Cinderella because that card sucks in the matchup. Daisy actually gets me somewhere farther ahead. It pushes my game plan ahead.
Yeah.
I can't play
definitely.
That's why I wouldn't mind
Let's
not,
get
not
into
having a sideboard is because we have that function in the game. So
Yeah.
let's go into these lists. So we're going to talk about the Battle Bear tournament that happened on 4/13 since we didn't get a chance to talk about it since we missed an episode. But DKP won first place with the blue red. So blue red is not dead. I didn't think it was dead. I think I said it in the video of the ban that DKP's list is going to be fine. I always said, like, I like DKP, he's a great player, but I think he was calling for the Hiram ban because he didn't need it in his deck, and then, like, with the new set, right, the set we're in pre-ban, like, with the Hiram was the Hiram decks were kind of beating the DKP list. Like, DKP list was not bad, but it was kind of falling out of favor compared to the other ones. So, obviously, he's going to want Hiram ban to push his list up to tier 1, right?
That deck, the new version of blue red that was playing the Hirams and stuff had too much card velocity for this deck to keep up.
Yeah, 100%.
Like you're saying.
And then with the
It
coils,
just
we would just kill his
his sharks.
Yeah. And then you just play hooks. I was playing hooks. Like, you would just kill the manners and stuff and kill everything. So, I mean, no, we weren't playing hooks. We were just playing a bunch of Cuscos and hideaways. So, yeah.
Yep, exactly.
We played the fish hook, right?
No, we weren't playing. We weren't playing fish hook because we were still playing Maui's, and then we were playing, like, I was running 3 hideaway effects in my deck before. So, like, this people dropping locations wasn't a big deal. So that's why I think he was calling for it. His deck doesn't need it. Like, it really doesn't. He obviously just proved to us that it doesn't. And with the new cards that came out, his version of blue-red was kind of getting pushed out, right? Not pushed out completely, but the other blue-red version was dominant. So, yeah. But nice list. I mean, the DKP is a crack player. I always think that no one's going to play this deck like him. Obviously, he made it, but, like, he makes this deck look way stronger than it is. Like, the dude plays this deck insane.
No, yeah, this list punishes you more than any other list I've tested. Like, if you misplay with this list, you just lose. You just lose to yourself. Like,
I've seen quite a few people like fumble with this.
You're muted, Danny.
Oh, but like, since it's mainly not a Diablo meta as much anymore, the 4 big Sisus might not be the call, right? Because it's mostly leaning towards purple now.
Yeah, 100%.
He's hard to deal with too. Oh, I guess you have guard. Never mind.
Yeah, so his idea was like, with the Diablos, like, I'm not gonna deal with them on curve. I'm just gonna like Giga Ramp and then just drop big Sisu, and then that becomes a problem to them, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that many Sisus is that good, especially without coil. So, I think he said it too that he will go down on it. I think he will probably go out of all his found too if there's not a lot of discard. I think he was playing that deck mainly to get him the ramp that he needs if he's playing against discard. Yeah, it just depends where the meta shifts, right? But this deck can be pretty flexible too.
Yeah, they said on stream, all is found enchanted is the most beautiful ink.
No, it is. Those are the 2 enchanted cards I wanted from the set, the Tamatoa and the All is Found. They're beautiful cards.
Yeah. But like DKP always just inked all his found and all like the stream matches.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's because he didn't. That was mainly for his discard. Like, he was thinking a lot of discard too. Well, everyone was, right, at this tournament. With that being said, that's why this deck was built. This one's the spiciest deck of that weekend. Second place got by MC Bratwurst. He, I think they're the ones that made this list. They made a purple-red list. It's pretty spicy, honestly. You have your 1-drops, your broken 1-drops for purple. You have your regular 2, which is just Snake, no Flynn, because he's okay, but if there's steel meta going around, it's kind of bad. And then there's still Bell, so. And then you have Peter Pan, this is what brings it out. The Peter Pan gives Genie Rush, gives this Moana Rush, gives Maui Rush, and then Maui just keeps getting back Finders, Keepers, and Friends. And then you still have the libraries that are so hard to deal with and just keep getting new card advantage, right?
Also, a cool little interaction with this list is you're going to have enough card velocity to keep a full hand versus red-blue. And the deck kind of struggled with drawing or answering locations and then a B-prep, right? Like that, like going back to the mirror match, like in set 5 and set 4. Like you wanted to get to that turn 11 ink where you could like slam a castle and a B-prep to wipe their board. Now with the Peter Pan and the Maui Shark, you can answer a McDuckman, or you can answer any location in the game just because you just play the Peter Pan and the Maui Shark and just challenge into the locations. So that play line is not as good anymore.
Yeah, I saw in the final when you know this matchup happened, like this red purple list versus DKP Shark list. There's a few times where like DKP, you know, he like board wipes, preps, and then plays manner. Like that's like the key. Like
he just outed it.
And then he just responded with this Shark Pan, and then he was forced to like prep again, you know, and then hoping he just didn't keep having it, because like if he has it enough times, you know, like with enough draw, you're able to just keep that board state like that's massive, right, with the Pan and Shark.
Yeah,
like, Pan is such an engine. Like, they're both engine cards. They're so good.
Yeah, once they get to 9 ink, like you have to be really careful exiting any characters because they just start doing Libertas for your thing, right? Like Pan Shark is gonna give them that value, so you gotta like try not to exert stuff. And then like in the Genie Wars, the Pan Genie just kind of does what the Elsa Genie used to do, but now you can do it with Pan and Genie. So, and then the Moana.
You can do it with
Also,
Now you do it. Pan. You go Pan, Elsa, Shark. Oh, I'm getting an action.
Yeah.
Also, isn't that that Moana's evasive, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Moana's evasive too.
Yeah, that and she's at 4 power.
Yeah,
Or
4.
three?
Yeah,
4-3.
So she just clean answers exerted G.
And then
It's kinda crazy.
whenever she challenges another character, she's like a crab. Your other
That's
character gets
crazy,
+3. Yeah, that Moana's
That
pretty
is a
good.
very good card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah, this
I
one
think what he
is
would do
good.
in the tournament, right? He would like pan Moana, and then like Moana would challenge the character, and then she'll get +3 to something else, and then they'll take out like a mana or something.
Yeah, like the normal play was pan on 3, Moana on 4, and then pump up your pan to 5 damage. So, like that's why you cut the Maui, like the 5-drop Maui, because you have like so much rush in other ways.
Yeah.
This list is cool, and evasive characters have proven in the past that they're kind of hard to deal with. So it's
Yeah.
very cool. I like
The
the
cool
list.
list. Yeah, I like it a
I
lot.
like this list. This is awesome. Yeah.
The only
It's
thing
I think I would
got
just.
storylines.
I would switch to Diablos for the brooms. 4 Diablos, 2 brooms. That's just my preference.
I would too. I think Diablo's the most broken
100%.
one.
100%. I agree with you. Yeah, you need the Diablo. You need 4 Diablos when you're on the draw.
Yeah.
Diablo's such a
Like I
good
said-
card when you're on the
I
draw.
guess it's just looking like the if you need to, the broom could be a 4 attack, or if you had it with the Moana, still be a 4 attack. It's better than a 3 attack, right? Just in case, because I guess it's against the Amber matchup, you need a 4 attack thing to kill stuff.
You just have
So
Fox.
I'm-
You have Fox. Fox does the same thing. So you know, it's like I get Daisy Duck, like the 4 health thing, but I've like going into turn 3. When does a purple player never have Fox? It's crazy. They always have it.
Well, this one has only 3, so maybe he won't have it.
No,
He'll have it.
still
He'll have it.
Yeah, they
They'll
still
have it.
have
They
it.
have it.
They still have it.
That's
And they have
me.
it, and then you answer it. You answer it on turn 3, and then they go turn 4, 1-drop Fox again. You're like, I'm
Yeah.
sick. You know what I mean?
That's me with purple still right now. It's like, when do they not have their 4 of Storm when they have 6 characters
Exactly.
on board? It's crazy. All right, then we have the Money Putt Rumble that happened this past weekend. Fran ran it at Top Choice. It was a cool event. It was double elim, 32 player pods. Unfortunately, it was only one 32 player pod, and then the other one was a 16 pod. This one was the first place winner for the 16 pod. He was basically just playing the dwarf package, right? Dwarf diggy hole.
Yeah.
I like to call it the 2 towers because you got the mine and the Rapunzel tower. It's like
But-
you got 2 good locations.
And then obviously that Rapunzel is not that Rapunzel.
I was about to say, was he
It's-
actually playing this Rapunzel? That's crazy.
He's not playing that. He is.
That's the other Rapunzel.
Yeah,
That's happened multiple times where they put the wrong Rapunzel in.
There's also on one of
Yeah.
these
glitched.
lists that something else is wrong, and I was like, "There's no way they're playing that." Anyways, the new edition was basically just Penny, right? Penny and the Gantu, I guess.
the tower.
Well, no, they've always been on 1, maybe 2 Gantu, but the penny is new. It's pretty solid. Like I remember James was bringing it up. It's a 2 quester. It gives someone resist +1 for that turn. So like if you want to throw it on a Shmi so he doesn't take the damage, right? Like it's not bad. It's pretty decent.
Well,
You want to know what though? That card right now is actually so terrible on turn 2. Smee is such a bad card right now. If you actually like in the matchup where you like actually need it to survive, like I'm telling you right now, like when I'm playing it in Amber Steel, that card is bad. I'd rather be playing my turtle on turn 2, unless I'm playing versus blue red. That is the only time I'd rather play Smee. This card is actually terrible in steel matchups, unless you have a way to keep it healthy, because it just dies to storm.
Yeah, but that's why the tower is good in this list, right? Like for the
Yeah.
still matchups, you go tower on 3,
Your Smee.
and and then your Smee's living forever, and then you Punzo on 4 and you draw. It's, like that's how this list functions. Is you want like before they're running the bodyguards, like the 3-drop bodyguards, but now they're just on tower, and then
Yeah,
that
tower's
feels-
nuts.
yeah, tower could
Like-
become insane.
It's easy.
How much does that card have health-wise?
Life.
Is it
It's 8.
8?
Yeah, it's
Oh
8.
my
Yeah,
and it
god,
comes
that's
out
a
on 2.
lot.
It comes down on 2, and then it has no lore,
One to
so
move.
like
Is it
you're-
1 to move?
Yeah,
Yeah.
one to move.
And it
That's
has no
pretty cool.
lore, so you're kind of like not encouraged to kill it because it's not really gaining value, but you kind of have to kill it because it's just making other bodies like super thick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
in the still meta, like I was playing a little similar to this last set when it was more of a still meta, and the Punzo tower always cracks.
So in second place there at the 16 player pod was another red purple. This one was more on the old package. Has a lot of the recursions, right? So what the heck? They want to split Cusco's and then the genies, rabbits, Tremaines, Medusa, Sisu, Finder's Keeper. Yeah.
Everyone's still trying to figure out like the deck lists, and everyone's trying their own stuff. I like this. I like the Medusas. I like the Tremaines. I think they're still awesome. He just doesn't have more of the combo pieces, right? Where like Shark or else or like Shark Elsa into the pans.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't think he was worried about evasives as much because, like I said, like the pans are now good because it's an evasive meta, kind of, right? You can say, and so he wasn't really worried about that going into the money pot.
So then, first place at the 32-player pot was another purple red. I mean, looks pretty similar. This one has the Pegasus, the Queen of Hearts, no Peter Pans. Has the rabbits, the genies, the Tremaines, and this one does have the libraries. No finders. Oh no, one finders keepers. So. Purple red.
Gonna be a lot of
purple red.
Gonna be a lot of red purple mirrors.
Who would have thought? And then second place our very own Adam from Ethan's team with his spice.
That guy did. This dude is so good, bro. Like he builds pretty good decks, like consistently.
Always the spice.
And like
smash.
He did the same thing. Like he did a really similar run at this money pot last week that he did at Rob's tournament, where he brought this brew, like this style of brew, and I remember at Rob's he like just clean sweeped almost everyone. The only person he didn't clean sweep was Crispy at the end. And I think even then, Game 3, it was super close. I think he just didn't have the right sequence of cards, and Crispy played it really, really well in that Game 3. I wasn't there for it, but I heard it was a crazy game.
Yeah, it was like perfect draws, perfect play. Like it's kind of how this is what this deck forces you to do, right? Like it forces you to see the exact cards off the top, and then see you have to do the exact line, or else you just lose, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like this deck, cool. It will punish you if you don't find your cards that you're looking for to stop it.
Yeah. So in case anyone watching wasn't here, this was I explained it, a double elim tournament, and then the end was a best of 5 finals versus the winner bracket versus the loser bracket. How would you guys like? Would you guys like to go any more of these like double elim tournaments? Well, you guys weren't there actually, but me and Danny.
I personally like double elim. I come from a fighting game background, so that's how it is with all fighting games. It's always double elim. You know that you're out after you lose twice, and it's basically the same thing like if you're doing a Swiss round tournament, because usually if you're X2, you're not getting in, or if you're trying to bubble in, right? There's not many X2s that get in. So with double elimination, it makes it a lot easier. It's like, okay, I just can't lose twice. Okay, I'm still in until I lose that second round. The only thing that I just would want to see change, I always bring it up, is the best of 5, right? Yes, the best of 5 in finals, just because I feel it's making the person that went all the way undefeated feel a little like they're not getting they went undefeated this whole time, and they're only gonna be able to lose 3 times compared to the person that's in losers bracket, where they were able to lose basically a total of 4, right? Because they lost X2 or whatever, and they're to get to losers bracket, and now they get to lose 3 times, so they lost 5 times, aside from the person in winners bracket only losing 4 times, right? That's how it'd be, yeah. So I think if they in the finals, it should be a best of 3, 2 games, so that the person in winners bracket would technically have to go X2 to basically lose.
Yeah, I saw that like in the Smash World Finals or something. I think that's how they did it. Where the winners bracket, if they lose, then they go to like the losers bracket. So the winner has to like lose twice, right? I thought that was like the fairest way too. Like any other way I don't think is fair. Exactly.
Yeah. So
that's the only thing I take away from it, is that maybe they would change that just so it makes it even, and it doesn't necessarily hurt the person in winners bracket.
Yeah.
Since you brought Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I liked it. Like those 32 players, you might play the same. I don't think you play do you play the same people? I mean, maybe if you reach all the way to the finals, but like it's 32 players.
Yeah, you can play the same person.
So it's 32 players. I mean, I wouldn't mind some tournaments being like that. I think it was a cool structure. just to kind of experience a little bit different
Go
tournament.
fast.
But I wouldn't mind more double elim tournaments in the scene. But I don't know. It is what it is.
Also, I'm just being picky. I love you, Fran. Love you, Phil. It's just come like I said, just coming from that fighting game background. It's an extra step to go, but during when losers brackets are trying to work their way up, winners brackets are waiting for losers bracket to finish their games because they have to wait for someone to lose in those. So I think it would be a lot like it would have to be so much much more different. Like they would have to have tables with timers, or they would have to keep track of, hey, losers bracket, if you guys are done, you guys can continue to play. Just let us know you guys are ready to go. We'll set a timer and we'll write it down so we know what's your timer at, so that the losers brackets are able to continuously play and not make winners bracket continuously wait. That's the only thing too.
Yeah, that's the time of the tournament, right? So everyone's not going home that late. A little bit more work, but possible.
Yeah, I was noticing that like the winners bracket like almost was like finished out like 2 hours before like the losers bracket. So I think, I mean, I didn't go, but I was like watching for friends and stuff. I was like watching the melee, and yeah, the losers bracket, there was a lot of people taking a while to finish those games because there is more games to play. So
Yeah.
Well, just look at the LCC, right? Like I think the final or the semifinals for the winners was who was it? It was Moyen and Artifacts. But once they finish, like imagine if this was like in person. Like once they finish, they have to wait for the losers to play 2 more matches, because the losers then are 4 people, and then after they win, they play the basically semifinals for them, and then finally the winners. So yeah, you're waiting the winners waiting almost 2 hours. So
yeah, and that's why like once losers are ready to go, hey, you guys are ready, boom, go ahead, sit down, boom, start a timer, start your game. We know when you guys started, and we'll let you know if you call for time. We let you know where you guys are at, so that it keeps the process moving and the rounds going, and the winners brackets don't wait as long.
I don't know. Honestly, the timer doesn't even matter, because it's elimination. So there needs to be a final winner. So the timer doesn't even matter. Like you really want to, like, unless you're trying to cheat, but you really want to go to time when like the game should be one fair and square, right? Like
you could cheese it though, right? You could be that type of player where you go to time, it goes to turns, you're tied at. You're tied at, or you're tied at lore. Hey, I know I'm gonna get the next lore count, and it's the lore change. That's how lore kind of works,
cheating,
right?
Bro, just win fair.
I heard. Like to be fair,
there's cheaters out there. I'm saying there's cheaters.
To be fair, I heard there was some stuff happening like that with next lore wins, and people were just like slow playing with like RP.
Yeah, it's what people do. Like people are scummy, dude.
Yeah, no, I get that, and it's like that to me is like, if you're gonna win like that, I'm for sure like gonna be salty after, and I will say something after. Like I don't care if I look bad. Like that's stupid.
It's
like
scummy.
you're gonna slow. You have 2 cards. You have 2 cards in hand, and you're taking a fucking 5-6 minute turn. Nah, man, that's not real, bro.
Yeah.
Just so you can get to time and then be like, oh, I have goat, I win.
Yeah,
like, nah, that's not real.
That's
bro.
scummy. Yeah, that's why I don't like.
I'll for sure like call a judge or whatever on that, because like I know we're not stupid. People think like.
Oh, definitely.
There's people that are too
I'm
nice
thinking
to
about
say
this
something.
turn. I'm an aggro player and I only have 2 cards in my hand.
Yeah, there's people that are like are too nice to say something. But this is a PSA. If you feel like you're getting slow played, you can say something. Just be like, dude, stop playing so slow, or like I'll call a judge. Because like at that point, you know people are trying to slow play you. Because like people are trying to get every edge they possibly can in these card games. That's just how it is. That's how people are.
It's scummy, dude. Like I don't want to win unless like I won. Like if you misplay, sure, that's a misplay. Like you should have been more like in line of like you playing your deck. But if you're winning because you're slow playing or you ran out of time, like I hate going to like time and then getting a draw because we're in time, bro. Like I'm like, it doesn't really happen because I play quick, but like that right there just pisses me off. I was like, dude, if you give us like probably 4 or 5 more minutes and my opponent plays fast, we'll finish this game. Like I get it, the timer's there, so like we don't go to like 2-hour games every round, but like most of the time it doesn't even resolve to that, right? Like it just ends with like 5 more minutes probably. So, but yeah.
Also, if your excuse is, well, I don't have much experience in certain matchups, you need to go play Lorcana then and just like jam games and just learn how to play faster, because like That's just like the excuse of like, I don't know certain matchups or whatever. The format's been out long enough to where you should not be slow playing, and if it ever goes to time and you're just like in this situation, right? What was it like? Highest floor total wins, right, after turns. Yeah, you can't have people slow playing.
I mean, there's some turns that do take 5 minutes or 4 minutes.
100%.
But
I agree.
Not every turn, bro. Like, come on.
No, and this
Turn,
is specifically saying like when you're playing versus a certain matchup, they have 2 cards in hand, and those cards are like aggro cards or whatever, and they're trying to slow play to get you to time.
No,
that's when it's a problem.
No, yeah. I mean,
all aside, it was a freaking great turnout as always. It was great people. Donuts were there. They bought lunch for everyone.
Fran
it
had
was
a sick mat. That was pretty nice.
That
I wanted to go just for the mat, dude.
Yeah, everything was super dope about the tournament. I appreciate them for Fran for doing the tournament, TCG for hosting the tournament. Can't wait for more. But it was super dope at the end of the day.
Again, this is a shout out to like our local people who are hosting these tournaments while we have actually nothing to play for right now. These tournaments are huge for keeping
the scene alive.
Players
the
wanting to play the game, keeping the community alive, because the big tournaments, while like maybe the pricing like does not match what a DLC match is, right? Obviously, of course not, right? Because they're funded by the game, Ravensburger, but the biggest part, like one of the biggest things that I like about big tournaments is getting to see all my friends and people that I know go to these tournaments consistently and getting to talk to them like once every 2 weeks, because like locals, they die out, right? Like you get the same players and that's fun and that's cool, but like you don't always get to see this, like the players that travel for these big tournaments, and those are the experiences I like, is getting to talk to friends and like seeing what they're playing and see how they do and stuff. So shout out to all the people who are hosting these big tournaments. It's awesome.
Yeah. You got anything to say, Eddie?
I got a lot to say. I guess since we were talking about the format, I don't know if you guys saw Zan's latest podcast. It was like a 3-episode interviewing.
I'm not done with it, but yeah.
Yeah, but in the end, they were talking about the future, and they mentioned asynchronous format, kind of like a fighter tournament style format, where there is no time. There's just like a table with players, and if they lose, the table gets filled up with the next round, and then they just keep going constantly until the tournament ends. I feel like Fran's event was probably the closest thing to that, with the double elimination, and obviously it takes more setup, more probably judging, or like more facilitating. But in the future, they were mentioning something like that as a potential optimal experience for like DLCs and competitive environment.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because, yeah, it seemed like what you guys were talking about was similar to what they were talking about on that podcast. And I definitely recommend that whole series, that 3-episode series, where they interview the head judge of the DLCs from NA. I think it was Alfred or.
Yeah, he's no longer it, but he was like one of the people that got it all started, basically. Like I said, I'm watching the episodes.
He was massive, dude. Massive for the community.
Yeah,
massive for having the DLC set one experience. I think he was a huge part of that, and I think Lorcana just wasn't ready for it, but he stepped up, and now the baton's been passed to hopefully Lorcana be ready for a good season 2. Hopefully, I think that's why they're taking a long time. They're trying to
get it perfect.
Meet
pretty sure
the
it's past
demand.
Ghost, because these tournaments don't exist anymore, apparently.
I know, but like you said, Ethan,
January, bro.
I think it's at least I'm hoping it's taking this long, because I think they're gonna announce way more DLCs and just have it way more structured, and just announce them all at once.
Or maybe sub-level tournaments, like regionals.
They might be doing that too. Yeah, I mean we're hoping, right? But I think they're trying to announce, get ready to announce this once they have it all perfect. Probably announcement for Worlds, how everyone's getting to Worlds, how to qualify for Worlds, how to qualify for Continental. I think they're trying not to do the same mistake as last time, where, hey, by the way, last DLC, everyone that got first place in all the other DLCs, you're invited to Worlds. That sucks,
Yeah.
Well, no one knew. I probably still wanted to win, but no one knew. And for me, I was at my top 8 match. I honestly, once I won my top 8 match, I was like, If I win,
Gold Mickey.
cool.
Gold
If
Mickey.
I don't, I really do not care. But like if I would have
You're
known,
like, I got the bag. You got the golden Mickey. You're like, I'm chilling.
yeah.
Dude, I'll never
But if I
forget-
would have known, I would have been on my nerves still. Like I would have been like, no, like there's still something to play for, like the World's Invite, you know?
Yeah, yeah. But I'll never forget watching you play that match because they kept us in the distance. You had your own private space, and we're all just trying to peek and see the game state and the plays. And dude, you're so locked in. But
And I did a huge misplay. I wasn't that locked in because I misplayed.
well, what game 2? Yeah, game 2.
It was game
but
1.
You,
Game 1 I misplayed.
Game 1?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
but
didn't
I mean, you
bounce my
pulled it
list
out game 3.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, you're talking
so-
about your top 8
Oh yeah,
match?
I'm talking about. You're talking about my Mickey match.
Yeah, your Mickey match.
Yeah.
I'm talking about your Mickey match. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, after the Mickey match, you were kind of chill, and now you're like, fuck it, I'll miss.
Yeah.
You got that bag, but
Yeah.
now, but it was like right after that tournament they announced, oh, by the way, first place goes to Worlds
Yeah.
without having to
I was
try.
like,
You're
what the hell?
you're
I
like-
probably still would have
you're
gotten
like,
cooked, but I wouldn't have
but,
been
like-
laid back. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's probably what caused me to misplay because I was like, I still wanted to keep going, but I was like not as locked in anymore. Like I'm like, all right, there's not much to get. Like sure, the full set of enchantments would have
Binder,
been cool,
yeah.
but like the World's Invite, like that would have been sick.
Yeah.
No, remember there was like that purple red burn list that they just dropped because they had nothing left to play for. Like they made
Yeah.
top 8 and they dropped.
Yeah.
They
you
what? They
imagine?
dropped? That's
Yeah, I think
crazy.
so. I think so. Yeah, they dropped.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
and
I
Seattle.
had to catch a flight or
You're
something
probably
like that.
sick after. Oh, well, that makes sense. Okay,
Yeah.
that's different.
But if
But
he would have
if
had
you
Worlds,
would-
he probably would have
yeah.
stayed. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you knew
Sorry,
the World's
but-
Invite was on the line, you missed that flight.
Yeah. All right, let's go through the tier list real quick. So
Here we go.
guys, we're just gonna give a quick tier list on what to expect. Not real. Is there anything not real anymore? Blue yellow, or
Yes,
obviously
yellow,
red steel.
blue, yellow.
Red steel.
Yellow.
Blue yellow.
I think blue green's not real.
Blue
Blue
green.
green, blue
Okay,
green. No,
it
blue
is
green
not.
is like
It's like
tier
No,
tier
no,
2,
no,
tier
no.
3, bro. It's not
That's
real.
tier
bro.
2.
Yeah.
I think it's better than tier 3. Yeah.
Uh,
So yeah, do we start from the bottom, right? I
Okay.
agree.
Oh, you know what's not real? Red green. Red green is not
Oh,
real.
yeah,
Don't put.
yeah.
That's
Don't
red
don't
green.
lie about that deck. If you think it's tier 3, you're a liar. You're just trolling.
Red steel's not real.
Yeah.
there's no tier 3. I feel like there's no tier 3.
Yeah. No tier 3. It's all tier 2, 1, and S.
Okay.
Sure.
And
Okay.
I guess if
Tier
I was
2.
to put decks right now, are we going tier 2 up? Or are we going
Yeah,
starting?
we'll just start. We'll keep going from the bottom. So what's
Okay.
tier 2?
So I think tier 2 is red yellow. Red yellow for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think green yellow.
Green yellow and blue green probably.
Blue green. I think green yellow is pretty good.
Ooh, you know what?
I think
Actually
purple
kinda feels
yellow.
like you know what actually kind of feels like tier 2 now is blue steel, bro.
Oh yeah.
Blue
yeah,
steel went
yeah,
from like S
100%.
tier to like
Calm down,
not,
but
almost not playable.
And you know what? I hear Hector like smiling with
But that's
us saying
fine.
that.
Yeah, let him
'Cause that's what he wants.
Yeah. He wants to 24K Hector wants to attack the meta, not be attacked.
Okay.
He's not
is that
really.
is that it? Do you guys
Yeah.
think this is tier 2? I honestly
yeah,
think it's
purple,
tier
yellow.
1.5.
Oh yeah,
Or like
I
the
think
top of
it's
this.
1.5. Yeah, tier 2 probably.
I think I would put blue still at top of the tier 2. Like,
Really?
I don't think it's that bad. Yeah, I don't
I
think
think-
it's that bad.
I think it's bad.
I think
I don't
purple
think it's
purple
bad.
yellow is kind of hot, bro.
Like the kiwi list, I think is still.
Okay, we're talking about
Oh,
kiwi
I like
list. Yeah, we're talking about kiwi list.
Okay.
It's a little bit higher, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll leave it somewhere like
Um,
this. Either one, alternate.
yeah.
I think that's it, right?
Oh,
so 1.5.
tier 2 is green purple probably. To be. Oh wait, no, the discard deck. I forgot about the discard. Sorry, I was
Discard,
thinking.
evasive.
Even not the discard
Asshole.
one. It's still pretty tier 1.5.
Yeah.
So 1.5 is I would put like this.
It's first place on Lorcana right now.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So tier 1.5,
No, it's
I would
real.
put like green, purple, green steel, and
Amber steel.
like
Amber steel is
at
like
the top.
yeah.
Right, Blurple, no? I
Yo,
want
are
to
we
I think
really
Bubble-
gonna
I think
put
Bubble's
green
tier
steel?
1, bro.
As a
Really?
green steel player, are we really putting green steel 1.5 on the same tier as amber steel and green purple right now?
I think so.
No, Amber
Just
still.
at the bottom
Amber
of
still
it.
to me is.
Or is it like it's the bottom? It's on the bottom, right?
Yeah, it's at the bottom of it.
I think
We're
Amber
going
steel.
Going left to right. Okay.
I've been playing Amber Steel for 2 sets now. That deck is way too volatile to be like S tier right now. Currently, it's not. Yes, when it high rolls, when that deck high rolls, yeah, it's like probably the best deck in the game.
I think Blurple is 1.5 highest.
No, I I think purple's higher than that. I think purple kind
Damn.
of jumped to like 1 to tier 1. That deck is everywhere right now, and so
then
that matchup,
should be
that
the
matchup
tier
specifically,
O.
Huh?
Should we have a tier O here?
No, it's
Well,
not to
tier,
zero.
No,
S tier,
no.
S tier, S
There's
tier.
S tier's fine because there's no like supreme deck right now.
So
What?
that matchup was relatively easy for me. If I was playing Amber Steel, like blue purple, I had an easy time with that matchup because they weren't playing like many Hades, they weren't playing as much evasives and stuff like that. I just recently started playing Lorcana because I'm like a dinosaur and just needed to start practicing and playing more, and being able to play from home is nice. And I've been having a really hard time with that matchup at certain times, right? Like if I don't see the right sequence of cards, that deck becomes a very difficult matchup because they just out attrition you, and Hades is annoying. So good card. It's just hard to deal with.
Red, purple, and blue red.
Yeah.
What's
Oh
up?
yeah. Blue red still good. Blue red
I
is
think-
still S tier.
Purple
Yeah,
steel is
blue
better.
red,
than Red, purple, and blue red.
I personally, me in my opinion, I think purple steel is the best deck.
I think so too. I agree.
I
think
honestly
purple steel,
I agree
purple
too.
steel
I
beats
mean, they
red
have to
purple.
high roll, right? You have to high roll to
I don't
make
think
it.
you,
do,
I don't think you have to go
No, you
dock
don't
really
have to.
anymore.
No.
I really
Purple
do not think
steel-
you need to build dock. I think just going like full libraries and like bunch of one drops
Genies.
and all the BS, like it's just
Calhoun,
I think it's so
Sneak.
strong. I think purple steel. I think
First
purple
level.
steel is the best deck.
You can probably just like you said, nope, you don't have to rely on dock anymore. And I also agree with that. You can just rely on the libraries and stuff. The meta has slowed down significantly. So like with the blue red decks like answering everything. So the purple steel deck, I think, with it also has the
And they
ability
have
to
so
burn
much
you out.
reach. So
It
much
has,
reach.
It has the ability to burn you out, right? Like you
Yeah.
could just fucking play the Cobra, and then bounce the Cobra, play the Cobra, discard the card, bounce the Cobra, play it again, discard. That's 4 lore right there, and then you also have board state
Yeah.
because they play Pete's and they can
And then
bounce the Pete's and
genies
stop
are so
you.
hard to remove.
Yep.
This
they
is
just
true.
play-
This is
yeah.
true.
There's just
Like-
a lot of reach with that deck right now, and it's hard to answer
I don't
because
think
they
genies are
have.
necessarily hard to remove now in the meta since there's so much tech for evasive now.
Yeah.
Unless you're
Well,
purple,
that's
genie's still
the
hard to
thing is-
remove.
Yeah.
Yeah, but purple. But look at all the decks that are purple on top. It's all purple basically.
Yeah.
Oh, blue red. Yeah.
We technically almost we were like, you know what? Let's ban high room. Let's get rid of this blue meta and just go back to basic set 1 purple.
If you want my honest opinion on the tier list, it would be like that, and this would go like that.
I could see that.
Really, purple green? I mean, purple yellow.
Bro, I'm
It's a good
telling
deck.
you,
It's
this
a good
mid-range purple-yellow deck is dumb. And maybe if more people start to know about it, it'll become less good. But they start aggro,
Send me
so you think.
Send me the list. Send me the list.
I'll show it right here real quick.
It's like
They start aggro,
it's
so
like
you
the
think they're
name
gonna
of
go
the
like
list, it's
hyper aggro?
Rapunzel.
Yeah, you think they're gonna go
It's
hyper
Rapunzel.
aggro,
Yeah.
and then they change. They change up on you, and like they still run the library, so they're still like drawing a lot. They have the Rapunzels, like. The
Are they
deck-
running? Are they running the new the new Pascal? Please tell me they're running the new
No,
Pascal.
they're not.
What the heck? That card is
I
so
don't-
good.
Unless Bessie was on that, but no.
This isn't the
Yeah,
list I
it's
saw
all
going
of them.
around, but like the one
The
I saw
surf-
going around is like.
When I
That's
saw
Yeah,
Ele-
it's alright.
Trolling
bro.
me with the elephant.
It has that aggro start, but then it also has that like mid to late game reach.
Yeah, it
with
does.
the bigger cards. So like it
running
becomes
Elsas,
more of
running
a-
genies.
Yeah.
It becomes more of a mid-range deck, right? Mid-range meaning
I
like,
guess-
it can either
I
go
guess-
aggro. It can go aggro in the matchups it needs to go aggro in, and it can play for the later game when it needs to play for the later game.
I feel like it sounds like purple steel, but without the removal.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like I mean, I get it.
Which
like,
is,
it's solid.
why are you not playing purple steel then at that point?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
So your lore
I-
for more, right? Early game lore. Lore.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Purple steel has a lot of lore gain early on too. They go fucking crazy.
oh yeah,
sometimes.
you go fast.
Purple
go
steel
big.
has so much burn. It's crazy. Like
Yeah.
I'm afraid of them being like at 10, bro.
Because like if you're not closing out the game in like the next 2
Yeah,
turns,
like if I'm not closing out the game, they're just gonna slowly start dropping genies and cobras and stuff. Like, bro, if they're like at, goat range was like 16, right? Like I'm telling you, like if purple steel's like at 10, dude, and they have like a 4 or 5 card hand, I'm scared. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna lose.
yeah,
You're like,
Yeah,
they got lethal.
they play their hand. They play their hand, and you're like, all right, I've gotten through their board. They're at like 16 lore, and then they just drop a dock, and you're like, I'm cooked, because they just draw 2 more cards.
Not only that, they still have their bunch of 1-drop like cycles, right? So they could. The thing with the 1-drop cycles is like, dude, you just drop them all even late game, and it's like I have to remove all these because they're gonna draw, and then they're still gonna gain the lore. And then the Diablo, I think Diablo is the most broken of them all because Diablo is like, all right, I need to remove this, and even if I remove it, they're still drawing that card. So it's like I need to remove it, and I'm giving them that draw. Versus Chernobog and Broom, you're like, at least if I remove these, they don't draw, right? But
yeah, and like you have those 12 1-drops that like that cycle themselves with 4 strength and a Pete that just freezes the board. Like, oh, that strength is controlling the board, and then you're going wide, and then you keep it going with like, you know.
So with this,
me, Lawrence, like bounce shenanigans. Like
also, like, purple steel players, teach me your ways on how you draw one of the 4 removal spells
every time
in your 60 card deck in like the top like 15 cards of your deck. I don't get it, man. Like there are games where I go where I don't see a single song in my 20 song deck when I play 2 burials.
Or you draw your 4 docks, and like I got high rolled one game where he drew all 4 of his docks sequentially within his 15 cards of his deck, the top deck. So he went like emptied out his hand, played dock, then played dock, then played dock, then played dock, all in sequence. He didn't discard 1. He drew 2 off of all of them. I'm like, dude, come on, bro. Like, and then they had the storm on the perfect time. Like 5 cards. I played Maui Shark. He storms it. I'm like, all right, dude, I lost. Like, come on, like. I literally was playing a game earlier.
Hey,
you're about to go up and then
storm,
put in the library.
It's
strange. My bad. Yeah. I was playing a game earlier where I was like, all right, I'm gonna put this down, and if they have it, I just lose, and they had it. Like, and it was their second game already.
I feel like if you're on Blu-ray, that's where you need like the rush, like the Goofy or the Maui.
The rush doesn't even matter. They have so many characters, bro. Like they just go wide, and like even if you take out those characters, like they remove it. Like I don't know. I think purple's still really strong.
It is. And like, if I'm playing like a real tournament this weekend, I'm probably taking purple still. I feel like it's like if you can just pilot it the most consistently to be like almost any deck.
So when's the last real tournament you played, Eddie?
So with this being said, with this being said, we'll go into a little bit of fun discussion. Probably gonna last like 20-30 minutes. We'll try to go through it as quick as we can. We don't want to drag onto it because I could talk about it forever. But with this being said, if we look at the tier list, yes, it is diverse. It is good. But if you really pay attention to it, we got purple, 3 purple decks in tier 1. Tier 1.5, purple. So all 6 purple decks, or all 5 purple combinations, there's 5, right? Yeah, 5, are in tier 1, 1.5. In my opinion. I don't know if everyone agrees with this. To me, that's showing that purple is just a fully dominant color. I don't know about you guys, but every game I'm playing against purple deck. But to me, that is not fun.
This goes back to, again, a fundamentally bad design that they made purple all draw spells.
Yeah.
The move damage is, and again, the move damage exert, yes, I know it's there, and I know some cards get played in it. But realistically, there is not enough card draw in the game currently, in other colors. Specifically other colors, where like when you get to these metas where you have a purple dominated format where the other decks just can't keep up. I know Amber Steel can keep up with like wheel and stuff, but you have to see the wheel and you have to be able to sing it. Like if I'm hard casting a wheel versus a purple deck, they just win. Because if they kill my singer, whatever, if I ever have to hard cast a whole new world, unless it's versus a blue-red deck where I'm trying to deck them out, that's the only time that like hard casting wheel is ever good, because you're spending 5 ink that you should rather be like playing it for free, right? So like it comes back to that like design where purple is all about draw spells, and that sucks because there's no other draw spells and like other good draw spells really in the game besides like maybe like whole new world and like your cycle spells from like Steel, and then obviously Rapunzel's a very good draw spell, but you have to jump through hoops around it, and people can play around it, especially with all the evades right now.
Same thing with green, right? Like you have to have something to draw off of that. I need to discard, but have a John on the field to draw off of it.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, I'm gonna discard. It's not. Yeah, hypnotize is there, but that thing costs 3, man. I'm paying 3 to draw 1.
It's also just a
Well,
cycle.
you're not paying
Cycle
3 to
spell.
draw 1 though. You're paying 3 to
Yeah.
get +1 on your opponent with the draw now. So like you're discarding them 1, you're drawing 1 off the hypnotize. So it's almost like it's not even a 1 for 1. It's still a 2 for 1 hypnotized by itself. And with the John, it's like
It's a 2. It's like
yeah.
a
It's like really good. Yeah,
You're getting 3 cards. You're getting 3 cards, or you're getting 2 cards. They get 1 card.
So
It'd be nice just to have a.
So with that being said, let's go into our next topic, which we're gonna rage bait, and we're gonna talk about the ban list. I know we had a whole video about it, but we're gonna talk about how, at least how I think, this ban list was handled poorly, extremely poorly. I think, obviously, to everyone, it's pretty clear that this was an emergency ban, and they did it because they realized they messed up. In my opinion, if they're gonna hit blue, which was a problem, don't get me wrong, and we'll start with what I think should have been banned from blue. Other colors should have been hit as well because purple is dominant, and purple has been dominant since set 1, right? Can we agree since set 1, red purple has been tier 1 since set 1 till basically this set 7 pre-ban?
Yeah, I mean, even in the Bucky meta, when RP was kind of a hard deck to play versus like green steel, it was still the 3rd best deck in the format. So meaning that it was tier 1.5 or tier 1. No, they were S tier. So red, blue, and green steel were probably S tier, and then red, purple was tier 1. So yeah, I agree. I think purple has always been a dominant color in every format so far. And again, it's the draw spells.
Yeah.
It's being able to keep your hand.
Yeah. So for me, there's 2 issues with the banning thing, right? I think Forest Sphere ban was a mistake, in my opinion, a full-on mistake. And the reason for their ban was, correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone heard it, was that the color identity in steel does not correlate with Forest Sphere, which is that they. Sorry, I'm gonna have to pause this.
Shouldn't be just drawing a card by paying 1. I think that's what he's going for, right? Steel should.
They don't want Fortisphere to line up with just like items, right? Like
Bell.
steel wasn't like, it's like the item, the identity behind drawing spells in steel are you draw and discard. Fortisphere was just play draw. So I think it didn't align in that regard, but like I still don't think that was the card to ban, to be fair. I think that card was like not that bad, and I honestly don't mind having like the 8 popsicles in the blue steel deck. I don't think they were a problem. I think there were other cards that were problems. Like the 6-drop Tamatoa was just, that card is absolute power creep, and I will die on that hill. That card is way too good for the reason they put it out.
It was just Fortisphere made Bell more consistent. The new 3-drop Bell way more consistent. It made the Scrooge, the 4-drop Scrooge, way more consistent, and it made the the new Tamatoa way more consistent. That's why Fortisphere got hit.
No, they said the Fortisphere got hit was because the color identity. That was
I know.
their main reason.
They say that, but that's not the truth. Like, that's just a cover up, I think.
Okay, so let's talk about pre-ban. What was Blue Steel's worst matchup pre-ban?
Wasn't it?
Amber Steel.
Oh, it was Amber Steel.
Yeah, it was Amber Steel.
Yeah.
And Turn the Dog, they kind of struggled against it too, because of everyone just going for willpower. So the Bell isn't for super aggro decks that are just playing 1-drop health people and 2-drop health people. It becomes a problem because they're playing the Storms and all that, and they get to cheat out the Songwriter and the big body. But for everything else, like the Bell is also really strong, but I don't think it deserved the ban, and I don't think the Fortisphere either. And I don't like the reasoning that they said. If it was false reasoning, sure, that's fine. But goes back to what Ethan was saying and what we've been talking about. Purple having a draw identity is dumb. No, can we all agree here that drawing is a key factor for a deck to be competitive?
Any pro game, like you go back to, okay, so this is a different game, and it's a casual format, but like Commander, Magic, again, it's casual format, but the deck construction theory behind it is like you have a 100-card deck, you want at least like 15 to 20 draw spells, right? Yeah. In this game, there is not enough draw spells in the game in other colors besides purple.
Yeah.
To compare to a percentage of a 60 card deck, right? Like, so you probably lower that curve like 15 to 20, probably to like around 5 to 10, right? That's where you want your draw spells to be at. In purple, all your purple cards say draw a card for the most part.
Yeah.
So you're playing like 16, 20 cards of your 60 card deck say draw 1 or
Cycle,
draw 2
yeah.
or cycle. And that's just too good.
Yeah.
The card velocity is just way too high.
So I think they're depending on this identity of purple to draw way too much. Can you keep purple as the best draw color? Yeah, that is fine. But the fact that you're starving every other color from draw is crazy to me, and which is why purple is so dominant right now, because no other color right now really can keep up. Blue-red can still with the workshops, but no other color can keep up with purple's draw. Like, it's just gets super out of hand. Like, a lot of the decks I'm playing against purple, they all have like 4, 5, 6 card hands the whole game. So anyways, besides that, the blue cards I would ban would be Hiram for sure. I do think Hiram being banned was completely fine. The card is, since release, I said his stats are way too overpowered. He should have been a 1/4. I do think that taking away his on the playability of drawing would hit him a lot more. I don't think that's needed if you're able to remove him, right? So you play him, you get your 2 card draws, and then if he's a 1/4, he's way easier to remove, so most of the time he won't get the second draw. And I do think that in blue, Coil should have been banned as well.
That card needed to be banned before it even came out.
Yeah, I get it.
Whoever designed that card, I don't care if you come after me. You're an idiot. You're stupid. You're just dumb.
Yeah.
That's a dumb card.
I get it. They probably wouldn't have banned it because it's a brand new card, but I do think this card needed to be banned as well. That would be my blue.
At least uninkable. It should have been uninkable.
Nope, not even that. Nope, not even that. It should not be on ink. That card is so stupid, bro. If you ink twice, you're killing my 5-power Bianca. There is no way that card should be like in this game ever, because it just like it makes like certain colors just like not even like worth playing. Like you said, Cesar, like in our like Discord. If you weren't playing blue at the beginning of this format, you're trolling, kind of. Like, you're basically trolling, and that feels terrible.
I think now, if you're not playing purple, you're trolling.
Yeah, I think it's. I think it's a little bit more open.
Yeah, it is.
Some sort.
But I also think if you just want to win, like, you should be playing purple deck.
It's going to give you the most consistent chance to win. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think you need purple to
Push.
win, but I do think that if you want the most, let's say, percentage to win, I think it is a purple deck.
And now it's just attacking that and seeing what beats purple the best, right? I guess you would say. And that still gives you a good matchup against red-blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's also Strength and Zeus. Like, Zeus just straight answers, like Sharks. And
So,
yeah.
So, would you guys agree with my blue bans? Or would you guys want anything else banned in blue?
Nope, not really. No.
I think Pop should still be banned. I think Pop should.
I don't think.
Instead of Fortisphere, they should have hit Popsicle and Flab. Left Fortisphere. It's not like Steel was still gonna run it or Blue Steel was still gonna run it.
Then blue literally has no draw. You're literally not letting blue draw at all.
They still don't have draw. Blue Steel's not running Popsicle.
No, I'm saying blue literally has no draw. You're taking out blue away completely.
You're getting the
Where's blue at right now? It's just blue-red, right? And they're not running Popsicle, and they're not running Pop, right? Are they?
Yeah, he is. He's running Pops and Big Tomatoes.
Yeah.
DKB's list, and every other list that's floating around is still running Pops and Workshops.
Yeah, because they need draw.
You're
The
getting
draw.
That's the only draw they have.
Again, you're getting to that problem of you're taking away card draw spells in certain colors, and it again forces people to go to the color that has the most card draw, which is purple.
Yeah.
And then you just get the meta
That's
where
why I think more towards it should have been how Cesar was saying. It should have been more cards banned throughout all the colors. If you're gonna ban Flab and Fortisphere, okay, let's go after purple. Let's hit something in yellow. Let's hit something in green.
No. Amber Steel does not.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Steel.
Yeah, those cards not. Okay. All right. For
Steel.
sure. I'll stop.
Yes, Steel. Would you guys have liked to see any cards banned from Steel? I think Fortisphere was wrong, but
I don't think strength. I don't think strength needs to be banned. I think that card.
I stole this
Like
from. I stole this from Ripplinks, but I think strength. If any Steel card were to have been hit, it should have been strength.
Yeah.
I still just don't.
I don't
agree
think it
with
should
that.
be banned.
I don't think
I don't think
agree with that.
I don't think it should be banned, but if there's a card to be banned,
My biggest problem with strength is what it's doing in purple steel, and in like the dock aggros, mainly the dock aggros, right, where you're just spitting out like 4, 5, 6 characters, and then they could just play this on curve with one of their one questers, or sing it with one of their one questers, 3 drops, and then just remove a big body for free.
But that comes down to the problem of, like, I guess if you're talking about a card that maybe should have been banned, maybe, and I say this very, like, tentatively, I don't think this card should have been banned. If you're talking about any card, it probably should have been Pete. That's the card. It's a stacks piece. And that card, I don't think it should be banned. But Pete, that's the card that is, like, enabling a lot of these things to happen. Because you can go so wide with Pete, because Pete protects your board.
I seen Hector. Hector was playing James round 1 in the money pot. He goes Pete, and James has B prep in his hand. He's like, okay, next turn. And then Hector goes Pete again. What the? Oh, it's so sad.
I would agree that Pete does some toxic stuff, but then if you don't have Pete, then the aggro strategies just become a lot worse, right? Because then you can't delay the B prep.
Well, this is why I think Pete shouldn't be banned. I think Pete is a fine card. It quests for 1. It's a 3/3. I think it's a fine card. I just think that if you're going to talk about a card that is enabling strength to be so good right now, it's probably Pete.
I don't think it's really Pete though, because like, I mean, obviously it's in steel. They're both in steel, so they're both going to be playing with the like they're both going to be in conjunction. But like, they don't need Pete on board to make 4 or 5 characters come out to just play this card. And like, my problem with this card is that aggro decks are able to take out big bodies for free, in a sense, because they could just sing this. At least with the Zeus, at least if they want to put the Zeus in, like, it's an uninkable, and if they want to sing with the 4 drop, sure. But that they can't, like, this is so free, and then this encourages you to be wide on the board already. So it's just like, I stole this from Riplungs. Like, if you guys watch Hector's Blue Steel, that's the Blue Steel plug that we talked. He talked about this, and he honestly put me on it. Like, I didn't think about it either until he started talking about it, and I'm like, you know what, dude, this makes a lot of sense. And I do think strength creates a lot of problems. Imagine steel doesn't have strength. Like, you're gonna have such a harder time to remove big characters.
So, but then you're talking about removing strength, right? Because purple steel is doing it really well, and I think you think amber steel does.
It does it decently well too.
Like,
yeah.
I think if you take out
I
strength,
think green steel uses it.
I think
crazy too.
Yeah. Well, okay. So yeah, but then
Not as good as amber steel though.
No, bro.
Or
Come on,
purple.
bro.
No,
Ursula with
steel.
Ursula with this, bro, and you have 2-3 characters. Like, you take out anything.
I'm a
Ursula has to survive.
I'm gonna be
One.
real with you. I'm gonna be real with you. There are so many like people that like talk
And it's
about
inkable.
how broken like the deck. Like, people always mention amber steel is one of the most broken decks. I agree when it does what it needs to do.
Yeah.
But like, there are times where you get Sisu board wiped and the only card left in your hand is a strength. Tell me what that's fucking OP right there. It's not.
No, I get it.
Like you have cards to come back. Like, the card, yes, it's a blowout card for sure, but like, you still have to see it. The decks that are using it better are probably purple steel and green steel. Like you said, double singing it is crazy. Like, with Ursula, you're just shooting things for 5 power or like 5 health. That's annoying. But if you take that card out, you're gonna completely get rid of another deck because they don't have another song outside of Zeus, Storm, and Whole New World. So you're getting rid of a key removal piece, and maybe that's fine. But they need to start printing more removal. Removal has to be better.
I agree.
There needs to be better removal.
Removal does have to be better. Other than that, the only card I would think about removing in steel would be Dock or a Wheel, but it goes back to the problem with purple, right? Like, purple has so much draw that if we remove draw from other colors, it just becomes a problem. So I'm not for, as of right now, like, I'm talking about their ban list as of right now, what I would have liked to see, and I wouldn't have liked to see Dock or Wheel hit, just because then steel draw becomes a lot worse again, right? So... So for me, it would just be strength. That's the only thing I would like to see hit. If it wasn't hit, I wouldn't be that mad. I don't feel like steel, even though it's a pretty dominant color too, I don't think, like, like I said, this is the only problem I see, and it's mainly because of the aggro stuff and like the going wide and stuff.
steel is always the best secondary color, right? Steel is like the enabler of other colors because it has the removal.
Yeah.
Like the other color usually is the primary color in the deck, right? Steel is always your secondary color.
Yeah. So with red, if we go to red, and I have to pick one to get banned, because I think red is fine, in my opinion. It would be B-Prep or Sisu, but I honestly am fine with red not getting hit at all. Because if you take out Coil, Sisu just becomes a lot worse. And B-Prep, I mean, I feel like B-Prep gets stopped by Pete and Ursula.
I agree. I think Sisu is not worth a ban if Coil is gone. When Coil, which it will always come back. There's probably going to be something that makes it come back. When Coil comes back, that card is ridiculous. But when that card is not in decks, Sisu's fine. So I agree with you. I don't think it needs to be banned. I don't think any cards in
Do you
decks need to be
think
banned.
Maui Shark is pretty ridiculous?
Oh, Maui Shark. Maui Shark's crazy, but and
I see people
like once you play a Maui Shark, your opponent's like, okay, I have to out this, or you just stall out. I can't do anything.
The biggest problem with Maui Shark is like, if you just like can leave your character standing, right? If you're not playing versus red purple, and you are farther ahead than they are, right? In like your lore race, like say you're like 16 and they're like you're playing red blue and I'm playing amber steel. I'm usually typically farther ahead. Like I'm usually at 16, 14 lore when they play a Maui Shark. If their only answer is to B-Prep my board, you're okay with that, right? You're going to just be like, you just leave your character standing and don't give them the option to get the cards back. So I do think the evasive was a little bit unnecessary. I think the evasive part of that card is pretty ridiculous, but outside of that, I think the card is okay. And it's equal.
I mean, if we're going to talk about like what should be banned in red, I think it's Pirate's Life. That card enables. Yeah,
really?
That card enables
that card
so much win. Like that's a win con. That's a win con in any red combination list.
Maui Shark, it's game. If you have 2 Maui Sharks, it's game 4. Lore is crazy.
Game 4, and then your opponent loses 2. Like let's say you're aggro, let's say you're Amber Steel, you're at 19. It doesn't matter. One Pirate's Life is GG. Because they just freeze the board from there, or shut you down from there.
I agree. That card has been pretty ridiculous, but I don't know if I would just like.
I don't like this ban list talk. I don't like bans, and like really, like I get banning Hiram because it's a character that draws cards. I think characters that draw cards are bannable, right? Diablo, like Rabbit, Genie. Because those are just plus, usually plus, especially like Rabbit bounce shenanigans. Like that's arguable. But if a character doesn't draw you a card, I don't really think it's bannable. Like Hiram was obviously, I think, fits that bill. Draw 2, play it. Draw 2 again.
The cards that should be banned the most are the cards that promote unfun gameplay. And in that regard,
or that don't have interaction.
Bucky was not fun gameplay. And if people say it was fun for them, cool, man, that's awesome. You're just a scumbag. But like in Coil, if that's fun
I didn't even like Bucky. I love Green still. I didn't like Bucky.
If that's fun for you, if a Coil is fun for you, like sure. But like that promotes such unfun gameplay because you just go Ink for turn, Greatstone Dragon, like Sail, like I'll minus all 3 of your 3-power characters that you played around to get around my big Sisu in hand. Guess what? It doesn't matter. Like those cards, those are the cards that promote unfun gameplay. Here I'm drawing 4 cards. I mean, sure, I guess it is annoying, but I don't think that card should have been. I think it should have been Coil.
I think things that promote unhealthy and things that are just hard to remove, which is what I'm targeting, right? Which we'll talk about. But I was going to bring up Pirate's Life too because I was online and I actually saw like 2 people complain about Pirate's Life and that they want it banned. To me, Pirate's Life, I mean, huh?
Oh, what card is that, Eddie?
I was Hiram.
Oh, Hiram. Okay.
RIP.
His foils? Rip.
I keep them here just
Just a reminder.
It's good for something still.
Yeah,
I'll buy them. I'll buy those off you for a penny.
They're in my bulk now. But I don't think Shark would because it on a curve, right? You play this on 6, you have Zeus to answer, right? If you're playing like a tempo deck like green purple, dude, Mother Knows Best. A Shark is pretty detrimental if you're playing a tempo deck. Like there's so many times where I was playing green purple against other lists, and I would play Shark, and I'm like, all right, I freeze the board. Psych, I just got Mother Knows Best. I lost. Like there's answers to it. Green purple or purple red, right? Like well now they're going with the evasive. Like I'm gonna play a genie, and then if they're dumb enough to quest with the shark, then I'm gonna crab my genie. And now,
I mean, I'm okay with you playing a shark on 6, like a shark on 6 standing. If I'm playing Amber Steel and I have a Zeus or a Criminal Mind, I just answer it with a Criminal Mind or a Zeus, and then I play a Pete to prevent the fucking B prep next turn. I'm probably winning that game.
Yeah. And to keep in mind, like I forgot to say this at the beginning, I was one to call for no bans. Even when blue-red wasn't the big thing, even since back since Set 2, everybody was calling for GOAT bans and all that. Like, I was encouraging no bans. Like, I felt like no card deserved a ban. Until now, should Hiram have gotten hit? Yeah, but to hit Hiram and Fortisphere and then to leave every other color untouched, to me, that was not okay. If you're going to do a ban list, let's do a full ban list, not just an emergency ban list. We messed up, button. Bam, let's hit the 2 tier 1 decks and then pretend like nothing else is going to be like overpowered.
Also, right? Don't do it mid-format. Don't do it mid-format. That's not good.
Yeah, that's
we talked about
mid-format ban lists are terrible.
Yeah, like we talked about this last week, right? When with the media like Hiram news, like with that video, we knew once you hit Hiram, the purple's gonna be back. Like purple was always like the main draw engine, and the only reason why purple went away for a while was because you could cheat in so much free stuff with like blue steel, like the bells, the Scrooges, and Hiram just kept Hiram allowed blue steel to outdraw purple deck, which was nutty, right?
Yeah, the reason purple red was gone for so long is because, and people don't realize this, but like early dimes, actually you just lost versus early dime decks. Like if you couldn't get there fast enough, right? If you didn't have the Flynn Sisu to pump you to 16 lore early on in red purple, and someone sticks an early dime on you on like turn 5. Or I don't know how fast you can get out because I don't play blue, but you probably are just losing that game if you're at like 4 or 5 lore, which there are those games that happen. So with Tamatoa coming out, the 6-drop, that would just put in dimes for free, and red purple could not answer those cards.
Yep.
So that's why it went bye.
Blue steel has always been in the back burner, right? And with it being top meta deck now, they can no longer do the Flint thing because they have Bell, so they can shift and then Sig Storm. So that's like their main win condition out of blue, out. And maybe they could have still beat blue-red, but like you said, if I drop a Tamatoa on 6, there's no way you can remove it. There's literally no way you can remove it. So then I just cheat out a dime, and then if I cheat out that dime by turn 7, and you're not at 10 lore plus 12, probably 14, like you probably are gonna lose that game. So it did get kicked out.
You're also not dropping a Tamatoa on 6. You're dropping a Tamatoa on what, 4, 5?
Yeah, my bad. Yeah,
usually, right?
Yeah,
like if I'm thinking, right? Because you would ramp with your Tala
3,
or your hero.
4, 5. Yeah, it'd be on 5.
Yeah,
it'd be on 4 or 5.
And then you just you just play a dime for free. You're losing that game. You are hard losing that game.
Yeah, but in my opinion, would have been fine because once again, the tier 1 meta it was toxic, but if we look at it, Churning Dog was a brand new deck introduced into a meta, which wasn't tier 1, but I do think it was tier 1.5. And then we had Blue Steel. 1 has been out of the meta for not like tier 1 for basically all of the whole time. And not only that, we got a new version of Blue Steel, which is Blue Steel Items. So there's two decks, maybe there's another one, that were completely new decks that were in the format. And the main deck that we kicked out of the format was a deck that has been in the format since set 1. Like, to me, I do think blue red and blue steel were so overpowered, but to me, if we would have just lasted one set and then see what they would have introduced in set 8 and see if that would have fixed it, I would have been fine to wait it out, because I was not seeing purple red anywhere. To me, I was like, that deck, I've been seeing it since set 1. Like, I'm tired of that deck. Like, I'm tired of seeing purple red. Like I would have been fine. Like, I was so happy not sitting across. Now I have to sit across and probably play against purple red for the next time. But anyways, for green, would you guys like to have seen anything hit?
I don't want to see anything hit, but me, Prince John makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, 100%. I think Prince John.
Doesn't make sense. That's the whole discard engine. Then you just took away a whole engine of the drop. I'd rather Diablo be gone, and I not have to worry about looking for this Diablo Exodia combo, and then I'd rather have Diablo gone.
Yeah, It goes back to what I'm saying. I think, yeah, it goes back to what I'm saying. I would like to hit uninteractable cards. So you can't interact with John until turn 5, which is grab. And then with grab, they also have a card. One, they already discarding your hand. And they also have a card that is called Ursula that can just rip out grab. Now, if you're in red, the only other color you can answer it with is B prep, which is even longer, which you might not get to it because you're ramping and you have to ramp out your hand. And then they also have the Ursula still, and they also have Pete, and then Big Sisu, which is turn 5, turn 6, turn 7, turn 8 to answer a card that's giving you value is I don't think that's right for the game. Can they reprint another Prince John with Ward? Without Ward, I think that would be perfectly fine. But as it stands, with Ward not being able to interact with it for so long, and it's constantly giving you value if you have the discard cards, that's not right to me, in my opinion. Yeah. And I said it when I was playing Green Steel.
Yeah, I totally agree with you too. Like I said earlier, like if a character can, be present on the board, it has board state value, and it leads to you drawing more cards, it should be able. There should be like a bunch of ways to remove it. Yeah, there should be a clean answer, and Prince John just doesn't have a clean answer. So yeah, I agree.
Didn't you say when you had that top 8 run at Seattle?
Yeah,
right, it was Seattle. Didn't you say, like, I remember talking to you like
I didn't shift Diablo
a little
once.
bit, like yeah, exactly, like the way you were beating. Like I remember.
We also played against Purple Reds.
Yeah, your top 64 match you were playing versus Kendall.
Yeah.
Who's a very well known RP player who does really well consistently. You didn't shift Diablo once versus the guy.
No.
I'm sure you probably played one at some point, but like wasn't shift. It wasn't the OP. It wasn't the OP line.
Yeah.
It was the John value that got you there.
He just couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, he couldn't answer it.
Yeah. And that's how you beat Red Purple, right? But like the fact that he couldn't answer, I'm sure triggered him. Like he had to wait to literally do nothing with his hand because he had to keep his B prep in hand. And if I have Ursula, his B prep just dies, and then he needs to like kind of hope to top deck into it. That is not a healthy thing. I also played against Red Purple or Green Purple earlier in this week against Blue Red. I was playing Blue Red. The dude, I don't even know if he was playing Diablos. He did not drop a single Diablo on me. He just dropped 3 Johns on me, best of 3, all three games, or 2 on one, 3 on one, and then probably 2 on the other, and he beat me. Like the deck, in my opinion, the deck does not need Diablo. Like John is more than enough. Diablo obviously is cracked too. Like you can play it, but there's so many answers to Diablo that you can answer it and at least not feel that bad. You can't do that with John. And still discarding is fine. Like Danny said, that's the whole value. Yeah, that's what you get value out of. But discarding just without drawing is fine. Would I like to see a John back in the meta if it gets banned? That's more answerable. Yeah, because I do think the discard decks need it.
Oh yeah. If he was a 2-2, if he was a 2-2 without Ward, fine.
Yeah.
So at least he's not dying to a small Sisu, which is great, which would be crazy.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and especially if Coil's going away, at least he would die to Brawl. Fine.
Yeah.
They have to target him, or have to target Ursula, or they have to target
Diablo.
Honestly,
Diablo. So that's fine.
I feel like it'd be fine if without Ward at a 2-3 stat line.
Yeah, that's fine too.
Having to do 3 damage to it, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think that's
fine. It's the Ward part that makes it so hard to deal with.
Yeah.
That's why. So I just think when the creators of these cards are coming out with these cards, they just didn't anticipate this type of stuff, and it's just I always go back to the card designers and them having to really think about, okay, how's this card gonna be implemented into the meta? How's it gonna look sets down the line? And so I don't know. That's just me. It always goes back to card developers.
I think what you're saying is correct. I think a lot of the card design creators are great at creating cards. I don't think they're really that good at playing their game and crafting decks. When you get the people that craft the decks and make really OP strategies like this, that's when the cards become like, oh shit, this is a problem. Like they get that oh shit moment, and that's because like you said, the card design is inherently flawed with their the way they power creep the game or whatever with the new cards, right? Like Prince John, when it first came out, it was a good card, but it wasn't great. When you got more discard spells later on and like
so many threats.
So many threats to deal with, like Ursula 3-drop,
Diablo,
the Beast coming out on turn 3, singing a Bruno. Like all those cards made that card way more ridiculous than it was. And that
Yeah,
was a
because you
couple
have
seconds.
to empty out your hand to answer the other threats, and you can't keep
Yeah.
your hand full and not do anything because you need to answer the other threats. So you're emptying out your hand, and then they get to discard the card that you need to. The only card you have to answer the John, right? So
What number of colors we got? We got
we got
purple.
two. We just got two. So for purple,
Okay.
I think Eddie has been playing purple for a long time. Eddie, what do you think about this ban, bro? I think Genie should be banned from purple.
So yeah, so like I get it because I was testing Genie versus Rabbit, and in the end I chose Genie because Rabbit just does not have the lore threat and the evasive like stickiness that Genie has, right? Genie is I think I agree with your way of thinking because Genie's just way more sticky than Rabbit. Sure, Rabbit gives you the extra draw every time, but it's just that extra pip, that extra lore, and that 4 willpower, and it being evasive. Just too many good things that this on curve, this on 4, is a threat. And it just, that one extra lore makes a huge difference. And the stickiness with
Definitely.
evasive makes it worse than Rabbit. So
It's just a bad power creep. Again, it's just power creep. And that's fine. If you're going to power creep the game, make sure you do it among other.
Yeah, should have
other
been
combos.
2-3 evasive quest for 2.
Yeah. Yeah, it should not have been a 4 health.
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
a 1-3. Like,
No,
you know?
I think a 2-3 would have been fine. The 4 is so
Yeah.
hard to remove for steel. Like I was
The
playing Blue
willpower,
Steel
yeah.
once. I was playing Blue Steel, and at least I could put in Smash. Like for this, like bro, Blue Steel, it's so hard to remove this Genie. It's so hard. Steel decks, it's so hard to remove the Genie.
You
Like-
have to have Zeus.
Yeah, like the
You have to
and
have
then,
or a strength for 4.
yeah, that's like the only clean answer, right? The Zeus. But the fact
Yeah,
like
Zeus and
it
Brawl.
could have been 2-4 non-evasive, and I would have been like, okay, that's fine. But the fact that it's
Yeah.
evasive, like you need to Zeus this. And then if they're on the play, then they get to quest with it before you Zeus it, right? Oh no, they can't.
Uh,
No, yeah.
And then second card, I bet we all can agree on the second card, right? Easy.
No. If there's another purple one, I would like to ban. I would like to see 2 ban. I think library is a problem just because it has a like it's really.
You're really not gonna say go. You're really not gonna say go.
I don't think so. No, I think
What?
purple's
Being
allowed to
able-
have reach.
Being able to not interact with that, where this card is gonna gain 2 lore no matter what. You're able to run 4 of this card. You can win by drawing this card off the top of your deck, which has happened so many times to so many people, and everyone knows it. It's crazy.
I agree,
That is
but you allowed your opponent to get there, right? Like you should have started like instead of taking a line to once I'm playing against purple and I see them get to unless it's purple steel, like I said, I'm scared of 10. But like purple red old school, once they got to 14, I would do everything in my power to remove everything that was on their board. Like at that point, doing other stuff, in my opinion, was not like no longer relevant. Like I need to remove their stuff.
That's
so-
true. Then all they have to do is go bounce route. They're like, okay, I'm at 10, I'm at 14. Go bounce. Look, I just gained 2 lore by doing nothing.
Yeah, I do think.
I also think we're in a weird spot where I don't think Goat actually is the one that's closing out the games as much anymore. I think it's the Cobra.
I don't
The
think
Cobra is the one that's closing out the games now.
But I think that card's fine because it's locked to blue steel, right? I mean, to purple steel.
100%. I think
Yeah.
the card is fine. I don't think that card is bad. Let me preface it with that. I just don't think I've been losing to Goat very much anymore.
Yeah, I haven't been losing.
Go wide boards.
I'm not mad at the goat. I'm mad at so much other stuff.
I've been losing to the
I'm mad at
genies
this.
that I can't answer.
I'm mad at this more than the goat. I'm mad at my bad. Hold on.
Yeah,
let me show. I'm mad at this. Where's the other one? This
Bro.
and where's the other one?
Alright, you pass it right,
Right there, right
Left.
there.
And this. That's what I'm mad about. These things get you like 12 lore,
The game.
and this what allows you to get to goat range. And not only did they get you to 12 lore, they also give you the cards back in hand once you're done abusing them. Once you like freaking strain them out. So I think Diablo should be banned because this card allows you to one.
Just
Okay.
pass.
To one, you put it right, and it's life is a resource, right? In every card game, life is always a resource, right? Kinda, no.
100%. I agree.
So in turn 1, the 1 lore on this does not affect it that much. It's the draw. So sometimes when I'm playing against purple, and they play a Diablo, I will let the Diablo live for a couple turns, especially on how low their hand size is, because they might have bad cards in hand that I do not want to give them that card draw. But then in the later game, they put this, and the lore is more important. But now, the only problem I have with this one is that no matter what, this one draws you the card. So now if in my head I'm saying, okay, the lore is more important than the card draw, I'm going to remove it instead of you getting that lore. I can't make that choice anymore because no matter what, I have to remove this because now I'm giving them the card draw. If not, I'm giving them the lore. So, I don't know. I think this card is the most broken one out of all.
I've always been an advocate of 4 Diablo when I only see people on 2, or like when that with the brooms at Diablo. I've always been an advocate of 4. It's so good. It's just a plus. You're not negging.
Yeah, you're not.
You're never negging.
You're never negging. Yeah. And with broom,
I think people were just like more so talking about like less of Diablo last format because Calhoun was such a big part of the format last format.
Yeah.
Now Calhoun is not as big in the format because it's just too slow of a card, I think, which is weird to say. That card was so good. It's very good in steel matchups, but now like people don't really have Calhouns very often, so this card is actually just so free to play. Mm-hmm. It is like one of the most free cards to play ever. You're not worried about it dying because it's just going to replace itself. So yeah.
And it goes back, if you look at what purple cards I would like to be hit, are 2 purple cards that draw. I think purple's draw needs to get hit. It has way too much draw for free. What do you think, Eddie?
Imagine they did do a ban list and they got rid of the Chernobog also. Chernobog Diablo.
Nah, I think that would be too much.
No, because you
have
to...
That dude back to Rafiki's and just a broom.
Amber's funny. Like, I've been picking characters that draw, but you can't cut Rapunzel. You can't.
No, for me, my only problem in Amber is Daisy.
Yeah.
That card's
Yeah,
not a problem.
that's it.
That card's
That's
not a
it.
problem.
Yes, it is. 4 life, a 1 drop, 4 life.
I'm telling you, that card is not a problem.
If this questing for 1, no problem. Let it quest for 1.
Oh my god, questing for 1, get me out, bro. No, actually, no. That card is...
No, like a good player will let the Daisy live if they can take if they have like if they're behind on lore, right? If their opponent's behind on lore, you let Daisy live. You let them try to draw you cards. You know, it's just situational. I feel like Daisy is.
I also think this card specifically has a lot more height, and people may not agree with this statement, but I actually think this card has a lot more high level playability than you would think.
Yeah.
Because there's times where people will just like straight up fucking turn this shit sideways every chance they get, and you are just trolling. You are just throwing your games because you are just giving them cards. And if you don't have, like, if you're not playing Amber Steel, and you're just giving them cards, and they can't, and they just keep getting card velocity, and you're, like, not putting them to the bottom, you will probably lose the war. Like, if you are... And if I'm playing an Amber Steel, and then my turn 1 drop is Daisy Duck, and I see that I'm playing Purple Steel or a purple deck, I'm probably not questing with this unless I know for sure I'm going to be wheeling on turn, like, 3 or 4.
Or you could get a Rapunzel, Rapunzel off of it, right?
Or a Rapunzel value, yeah. The rest of the time, I'm probably not questing this. I'm probably using it to trade, using it to kill things like that I can combat versus the board. Because, like, you know, the purple 1-drops do have, like, 1 health, 0 health. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't think this card is that bad.
So I have a lot of problem with this card. It is so hard to remove. It is a 1/4 that on 1, nothing removes it. Literally nothing. On 2, nothing still removes it. Or I guess Argus, but it trades with it. And then on 3, Raw removes it. CC removes it. And then after that, I think still nothing else.
You play red if you want to go that route.
Yeah. And I think still nothing else removes it on 3. So almost 3 turns where nothing of this removes. On the play, this card will always get you at least 4 lore. At least. There's nothing your opponent can do. They will at least get you. This card will at least get you 4 lore. Another problem that I have with it. After a wheel, and this goes back to, like I said, as of now, this card should get banned. If they print better removal, then maybe not. But as of now, wheeling, not even seeing this early, wheeling into 3 of these or 2 of these after, and then going Daisy, Daisy, Pete, bro, that is brutal. Or going Daisy, Daisy. If you're not red, bro, you're not removing this. You're not removing this. You're double grabbing, and most decks are not running grab anymore. and you better have the double grab. Like, and then if they peat, you just lost. You just lost if you're not red.
But if you take this card out now, if you take this card out right now, you're just making this deck auto lose to blue decks and like red blue.
You have this right here.
I feel like if
that card is not real. Don't show me that card. Don't show me that card unless I'm playing bodyguards. I'm not, and that's like you're playing an aggro list at that point. If I want to play mid-range songs, I want to be able to have the. Again, it's mid-range. You have to have the ability to choose whether you're going to go aggro or control.
Bro, you have a bunch of aggro lines though. You have this. You have Lilo if you want to play it. You have on 2. You have Smee. You have Piglet. You have. Like, that's what I'm saying about Daisy. Like, even with red, sure, I couldn't brawl it. I would hate to brawl it because if you're playing against blue-red, you probably have, by the time I get to brawl, you probably have Daisy out. You probably have Piglet if you're playing it, or Smee out. And then on 3, you're probably going to play Ariel. And if I don't brawl that and you wheel, that's pretty bad if I have good cards in my hand. And if you don't have Ariel out, you probably have Lawrence out. So that's 6 lore by the time I get to brawl, which you have more than 6 lore because I couldn't remove the Daisy in that earlier. So I'm on my turn 3. You have Daisy that already got 4 lore. You got your Piglet or Smee, and then you have your Lawrence. Like, I'm brawling the Daisy. I'm losing still. Like, I'm just giga dead.
I guess. I mean, but like that's part of keep playing a control deck versus an aggro deck, right? Like that's part of it. You're gonna lose those matchups sometimes. I just think like
no, because if this was a 1-1, I could stop it with my Tipo.
I think if Daisy was a 1-3, it would have been better.
I think if it was a 1-3, it would have been better. Yeah, I would have been fine with the 1-3.
All the stats, uninkable, quest for 2, does what it does.
Yeah,
but if it was a 1-3, it would have been at least
100%
easier.
Yeah.
1-4 on 1 is crazy.
But it's crazy, but it's justified because if there's anything I looked right now, I was like looking through all of Amber and I'm like, okay, what card is too OP? There's no card that's Daisy and Rapunzel, right? Daisy and Rapunzel. Those are the only 2 that are like the best. Like probably Amber cards.
One more card. No. Oh, there's no way.
I don't want to hit Rapunzel because.
But exactly. But that's why I'm saying.
Like,
but yeah, let me say like this. Like, Amber needs help. It needs because like, Amber is the one color that needs the most help. That's what I learned from this conversation. It's like because like, there's and I get that they have recursion with recycling. They have ways to bring stuff back from your graveyard, from your discard bin. But I think they need like a character that can bring you back maybe some things from your discard bin other than just like an uninkable Hades or an uninkable Perdita. They need like an inkable way to bring stuff back. And I hope to see something like that. I feel like Amber needs something like along those lines of just having card replacement.
Yeah. It'd be nice if like how you're saying, Eddie, it'd be nice if it was on play, bring a character not back to your hand but back to the field tapped or something.
Exactly.
Like it does a little effect but it comes from the graveyard to the field tapped. That would be awesome. I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
That card you're talking about that comes back to the field tap, Lilo, is such a bad card. That card is
No. I'm thinking a character that brings other cards back.
Like Perdita, but inkable.
But inkable and cheaper. Like a 4-drop.
Also, Perdita being a 6-drop with 1 power, like again.
Yeah.
I know it's Amber's identity. I know it's Amber's identity to have low power, but at this point, you guys are just like Ravensburg. You're just griefing because like you printed Aurora, and we're talking about power creep here, right? We're actually talking about power creep, right? Tamatoa, legendary, is just a better version of the 8-drop Tamatoa.
Yeah.
It is. It's clearly way better. And the stats on it are insane. A 4/5 is crazy for an inkable 6-drop that does free things.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, in Amber, you give me an Aurora, 1/4. Yes, 4 health. I get it. It's annoying. But on turn 3, it's not that annoying. I think
you guys should have got the Mirabelle. You guys should have got him.
No, you know what I think we should have gotten? I think we should have gotten Aurora be a 3/3, quest for 2, doesn't untap, it can't untap or whatever. Just be a 5/5 that, like, when it sings a card, you draw a card. Or something like that. Like, that doesn't sound too OP to me. I think in its own right, I think if you're singing a song, whenever it sings a song, right, if you sing a Zeus, it just replaces itself. Which is, yes, it's annoying, but it can be dealt with. It can be dealt with a 3 like the 1 power is just actually so troll. Like that card is just bulk. It's so bad.
I think that's fine too, but I think it would have to be a 2/3.
Okay,
I feel like
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. It dying to Brawl is fine, but it dying to a baby C2?
No, that's not fine. Yeah, no, I agree. But I do have a big problem with Daisy. So let's look at this real quick, right? Like the 1/4, it's crazy body on 1. We just talked about it. There's almost literally nothing to remove it. We're talking about meta decks, right? This is probably the only meta deck where it's not gonna be as negative. But 45 characters, okay. Next meta deck, DKP's list, basically, right?
yeah,
4, 8, 22, almost. 23 characters. So less than half of your deck chance to hit off of that Daisy that's already pretty overstated on sticks. Green purple, 6, 14, what is that? 18? 18. So I mean the odds are not that bad. Still song 16, 44, it's decent. The song's still hitting, but bottom decking your songs, that's pretty strong. And then right here, another 16. So on all of these, like the Daisy stats aren't terrible to get you the for them not to get the character, right? So I don't know. I do think since it was shown, like I do think it's a pretty like a 1/3 would have been fine. Like even then, like I would have to smash it, but at least my 3 strength characters would answer. Like Calhoun now answers it cleanly. Like that's another problem is like the cards, which I don't think Rapunzel needs to be banned because you guys have no draw, but like. Bro, like that Daisy locks Rapunzel so good, bro. Like you quest with it. Like I need to have 2 characters on board, which is your deck already removed stuff, that answer it in 1 shot. Because if I leave that thing with 3 health, like you're just getting so much value. Like it's
when they crash.
Yeah, or
you can't even quest because they'll crash it itself. Like I'm gonna crash right here, heal 3.
That's my problem with that card.
No,
It's just the 3. It should have been a 3 health. That way, like. You draw 2, that's fine, but at least my Calhoun answer is on 2. There's a lot of 3/2s that would answer it on 2. And if you guys really want to with Cindy, you guys can answer it with Storm and then just not quest with the Daisy for that turn. And then once you have Storm, you get what I'm saying? And you can be a little bit smarter with it. But now players are being smart with it already, not questing with Daisy. And then they still wait. And then, like, dude, good Amber Steel players with Daisy is so scary. Like, Daisy's nuts.
Yeah, because like you're only ever there's certain times where it's always going to be safe to quest, right? It's going to be safe to quest early on, like if you're on the play, of course I get it. But then there's times where like you might be able to like give them a bunch of cards with a bunch of daisies and then just play the wheel and just give them, and then people will just like take those cards, like they'll take the Sisu that you reveal at the top. They're like, ah yes, the Sisu, I'm there. And then you just get punished with a wheel. So like, yeah, I think the card is good. I think it's a very good card and it's a great rate, but I just don't see that it's worth a ban. I think Amber sucks as a color. It just is really good with Amber Steel.
All right, let's get into some tournaments coming up.
Yeah, so that being said, on the comments, let us know what you guys think about these takes and what you guys would like to see banned and or hit. Mainly just bans. I don't really want to talk about erratas. Like, I want to talk about, like, bans, right? Like, as of right now, if any of these you think... And this is me being non-biased. Like, I literally said ban Hiram still and ban Coil. Literally, I mean, we still have good cards, but, like, literally, like, the 2 most problematic cards in blue, I'm asking for them to get banned. But I'm also saying, like, if they're going to do a ban list, do a real ban list. Don't do an emergency ban list, oh, we messed up, and then assume, like, purple is not going to just... take over the meta with discard, and discard would have took over the meta, but just purple has so much draw that they just they also have answers for Diallo, but they have so much draw that you can't discard them. If their only worry is discard, you're not gonna discard them because they'll just build to not be able to discard them because they just have way too much draw. So let us know in the comments down below. But with that being said, we have a tournament this weekend coming up at Wildcard Cyclone. If you have nothing to do on Easter, there's this big tournament. I would go, but I have a family, I have kids, so I have to spend time with them and have fun on Easter, collect some eggs. And then other than that, we have Collectibles Exchange tournament on 4/26 at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. guys, remember 11. Don't be.
I think that reminder is for you.
Not 12.
Don't be me. Don't be me. It is at 11. And the day after that, 4/27, there's a case tourney at Collectors Lounge. Once again, I am using Phil's website, IE-enchanted or IE-enchanted.com, and he has everything. Like, if you guys want to start looking at set champs and start planning your set champ month, then it's all here. It is all here. So we'll start shouting out some set champs next week, but as of right now, we just want to shout out those 3 tournaments coming up. I think we're pretty much done. You guys got anything else to say?
Happy Easter.
Oh, yeah,
Easter, all
happy Easter.
Celebrate.
Have a good Easter. Be safe.
Eddie, you
All
got
right.
Happy Easter, everybody. Yeah, happy Easter. I'm excited for Rob's collectible exchange event coming up. It's gonna have like play set of like enchanteds for topping. So it's gonna be like top 8 I can get play sets of like enchanteds and foil cards, like and
Is this
promo cards.
the tournament where Eddie makes his first appearance of set 7?
Let's
Get
go.
ready, boys.
Let's go.
Get ready.
Right.
So, yeah.
Tax day is over. Tax day just passed. He's free now.
So
Yes. I'm done helping people, get pay the government. We're gonna it's time for me to collect.
there you
And
go.
we're gonna start
So
this
bef-
weekend. Next weekend.
hopefully I see you, Eddie. Haven't seen you in a while. So before Danny gets us out, I just want to conclude the episode with meta decks. So if I think, I don't know about you, but I think if you're not playing purple, specifically purple steel and purple red, even blurple I think is fine. Those are the decks to take to win these upcoming tournaments. I do think blue red, green purple too. Basically any purple, right? But I think purple red and purple still have the best shot in my opinion. I did think blue red can win a tournament, obviously shown by DKP, and I think non blue red DKP list can also still win the tournament. I just think you're giving yourself the highest chance of purple. And Steel Songs, I still think you can win it too, but like Ethan said, like the deck is broken, but sometimes it just loses to itself. So, and you still have that blue-red bad matchup, right? So, yeah.
What about green steel?
I think green steel is fine if people are not expecting it. I always think that with green steel, right? That's why I took it to Continentals, but apparently more people were expecting it than I thought. Like I think green steel is.
Cesar was saying.
Huh?
Purple just draws too much now. They're on
Yeah.
Finders Keepers again.
But they might
And it's
move away
just-
from that, right? They did that because they were expecting a lot of discard. Like, are we expecting a lot of discard this coming week and next week? I'm more afraid of purple red and purple steel, to be honest, than the discard. So.
Will they move away from the big Sisus also, red?
No,
So then it helps us.
They're not gonna get rid of that broken.
But
Yeah.
all right,
Get us out.
Who's staying?
if you guys made it this far, thank you. We appreciate you for making it this far. We talked about a lot, ban lists, top decks coming from the tournaments, our meta reports, tournaments that are happening this week, this coming weekend. We hope to see you guys there. I'll be posting the flyer on the video also. Thank you guys. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe. It helps us out tremendously. But until next time, keep on cooking, keep on questing. Peace.
Give other colors more draw.